So, of course, this morning's topic is ahimsa. And what I want to just remind us all that yoga has been so popular, and it's hard to believe that it actually was developed some 5,000 years ago. And it was developed by ancient men called rishis, which we would know as seers. And these rishis weren't interested in the same thing we are. They weren't interested in getting tight abs or losing weight, rather of, and he laid out the path of yoga. So he didn't begin with asana or all those movement practices that we do, but rather he began with what we call the yamas. And the yamas are the ethical principles that underlie all yoga practice. And the translation of yamas from Sanskrit is restraints or don'ts. So Patanjali, he didn't really want to be moralistic, but rather he wanted to be practical. And he merely said that if we choose to act in certain ways, we're going to suffer in life. So we should restrain ourselves from these things. And so there are 5 yamas or 5 things that we should restrain from. And today we're going to cover the first of them. And as I said, the first of them is ahimsa, which is translated as non-violence. And while on its face, probably we could all say, hey, I'm not a violent person. I got that covered. That's no problem. But ahimsa really implies much more than that. It's not just refraining from violence, but what it implies is the active expression of compassion. And it implies that at our nature, at our core, we are compassionate beings. And the compassion that we want others to extend to us is something that the others want as well. So ahimsa, or nonviolence, is an opportunity for you to look at the way you talk to yourself, the way you talk to others around you, how you treat yourself, how you treat others. And so how we treat others is always a direct reflection of how we treat ourselves. It's like a mirror into who we really are. So we can practice by noticing our thoughts and then reducing the thoughts and actions that are causing us pain and causing us uncomfortable feelings. And this could be anything from negative thoughts, not believing in yourself, being critical of yourself, being critical of others, not supporting those around you, or maybe even pushing too hard in a yoga practice that we'll be doing today. So it means to live in such a way that causes no harm, whether in speech or thought or action to anyone, including ourselves. It even means eating healthy, nutritious foods so as not to harm your body. It means not eating in a rush or not eating unconsciously. It means to treat your body as the holy place that it is and not to thrive on junk food. So Patanjali further explained that if you're established in nonviolence, when people are in your presence, they'll feel peaceful. So your peacefulness, your nonviolence will inspire others to also be peaceful and nonviolent in your presence. So a regular yoga practice and meditation definitely leads us in that direction because it calms the mind. And the more you practice, the more that calming effect takes place. It accumulates. So today for our breath practice, we're going to use the breath to focus and to wash away negative thoughts or actions. We're going to be inhaling fully up to the collarbones, and then we're going to be exhaling in 3 equal parts, just like a waterfall, just washing away negativity. So it'll be like this. We're going to inhale fully, and we'll inhale for 6 all the way up to the collarbones. And when we exhale, we'll exhale 1, 2 to the chest, 1, 2 to the belly, and 1, 2 to the pelvic floor. Okay, so it'll be 6 going up to the collarbones, and then 2, 2, and 2. Okay, Any questions so far? Okay. So find a comfortable seat, and we kind of know what that means at this point. It means to put the feet flat on the floor and having them hip distance apart, and putting the heels behind the widest part of our feet, and just softening the toes so that you kind of just lift the toes up a little and just soften them. And then just gently, when it kind of hits you, just gently close your eyes and just begin to take a few very normal breaths, just regular breaths without the waterfall, just inhaling fully and exhaling completely, softening the jaw, softening the eyes, softening the cheeks. And then we'll begin with our waterfall breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, chest. 1, 2, belly. 1, 2, pelvic floor. And just take a recovery breath. And we'll begin again. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Recovery breath. And again. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Recovery breath. And begin again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Recovery breath, and just continue a few more on your own, just as you continue with this staggered breath, just expelling any harmful thoughts, any ideas that you're holding, and just visualizing a cascading waterfall just washing these thoughts away. Just a few more. And after your next exhale, whenever that is, when you come to the bottom of the exhale, pressing the palms together right at the heart center, linking right and left, yin and yang, sun and moon. An affirmation: I treat myself and others with care and compassion. I honor all living beings. I'll repeat that 2 more times. I treat myself and others with care and compassion. I honor all human beings. I treat myself and others with care and compassion. I honor all living beings. And slowly releasing the hands down to the lap. And we'll begin our movement practice. And in our movement practice, you'll notice that some of the same movements we do over and over. And as in any other practice, the more you do, the more fluid you get. And so then the more benefit that you derive. So we're going to start by loosening up from the top down. And again, just making sure that your feet are right underneath your knees and that your knees and your hips are in line. And taking an inhale here. As you exhale, just moving your head to the right. Back to center and moving the head to the left. Coming back to center. One more time, moving the head to the right. Inhale to center and move the head to the left. Coming back to center and inhaling here. And as you exhale, just dropping the ear to the right. Different stretch. Coming back to center and dropping the ear to the right. Coming back to center. Moving to the right. Coming back to center and dropping the ear to the left. Coming back to center, and we'll do more full neck movements. So inhale here and exhale, dropping the chin to the chest, and then moving the ear to the right, lifting the chin as you draw the head back just a little and moving the ear to the left. Dropping the chin, moving the ear to the right, lifting the chin, and moving the ear to the left. And coming back to neutral. And we'll just do that movement on the other side, starting the other way. So dropping the chin, the ear goes to the left, lifting the chin, the head comes back. Don't be, practice ahimsa, and moving it to the right. So don't be aggressive. Dropping the chin, moving the ear to the left, lifting the chin, the head comes back, and moving the ear to the right. Coming back to a neutral position and just bringing the arms straight out in front of you and just beginning to make little circles with the hand, with the wrists going around in one direction and then just going around in the other direction. And then spreading the arms all the way out so that you're spreading them out in a T and lifting the fingers up so that you are just flexing the wrists and then turning them all the way down. Whatever movement you have in your wrists is exactly where you should be, just practicing ahimsa, non-harm, just being pleased with where you are, pleased that you have this movement. And then coming back, and now we'll just pretend like we're stop signs, like this hand is on one wall, this hand is on the other wall, so that we are pressing as hard as we can against those walls, and you feel your biceps engaged. And again, you still allow, though, a line of energy that goes down from the shoulders all the way to the wrists. And then slowly coming forward, taking a hold of the right hand and just turning it the other way. And again, as you pull those fingers back with the other hand, you're going to feel a line of energy going from the wrist all the way up. It may even affect the bicep. Just breathing easily, just an even breath, even inhales and even exhales. Just keeping the mind clear. Then we'll just turn and do the other side. So we want to maintain flexibility in all of these joints, so we just activate the synovial fluid. That's the fluid that allows us to move the joints easily. Then slowly releasing, we'll just place our fingertips right onto the shoulders, bringing the elbows down first and working the shoulder girdle. We inhale, bringing the elbows all the way up and exhale around and all the way down. Now, some of us have shoulder problems in one shoulder and not the other. So just do it in the shoulder that's good. And if the other shoulder, you can do a little bit, do a little bit. But again, not to do anything that ever brings you in pain. Definitely practicing ahimsa. And inhaling, coming all the way up. And exhale. And we'll go the other direction, which is going to feel awkward. So you bring the elbows back and all the way up and around and down again, all the way back, up, and coming all the way around. Last one. Inhaling. And exhale. And just for a moment, placing your hands down, just noticing how you feel, maybe wiggling around a little bit. And now we'll just do one other for the shoulder. I call this the swimmer's arm, and we'll alternate arms. So bringing your right arm down and all the way around to the extent that you can. And taking the other arm and bring it all the way around. And again, you just do the movement or the range of motion, or even with one arm, if that's more suited for where you are in your body. Just do a couple more like this. Trying to keep the body steady, trying to keep the head steady so that you're really doing it with the shoulder girdle and not with other muscles. That's what we want to activate so that we're able to reach, able to do the things we need to do in the kitchen and elsewhere. And pausing here. And now placing all of the fingers together. So the thumb is with the thumb, the pinky with the pinky, all together, elbows out to the side. You can start with them loose, and we inhale here, and then exhale, press all the fingertips together. And you're going to feel this in the pectoral muscles as well on the upper body. And then release as you inhale. And exhale, really press, 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 just so that you feel the extent, the muscles in the chest area. And also it's great for the fingers and the hands. And releasing. And one more time. Just pressing, pressing, pressing to the extent that you can. And this time, hold just a little bit longer. Try and smile. It always makes the practice easier. And then release. And placing the hands down, raising the right arm all the way up, and you can hang on to the chair with your left hand and inhale here. Press this sit bone down into the chair as we take a lean over to the left. And so don't bring the shoulder with you, not like that, but more keep it in the socket. And the bicep is right by the ear if you can. Firm the lower belly in and up. You can firm the pelvic floor. That gives you the stability to hold in this side lean so we don't topple over. And then slowly coming down. And as you probably guessed, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to inhale that left arm all the way up. Keep the fingers together. It's more meditative. And this time press into that left sit bone like crazy as you just lean over to the right. Each exhale may allow you to fall a little bit deeper into the twist, into the lean rather. And then slowly coming down. I was ahead of myself. We're going to be going into the twists. So turn the palms out and inhale, coming all the way up, and press the palms together at the top. And as you exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. We'll do it in a flowing movement. Inhale, coming all the way up, and exhale, flowing to the left. And again, keep the sit bone static. Inhale, coming all the way up, and exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, bringing the arms up, and exhale, twisting to the left. Next time we come to the right, we're going to hold. So inhale, coming all the way up and holding here. And you can use that leverage of your left hand on the right side to move you around the axis of the spine. So the sit bones stay exactly where they are, and we're just moving around the spine. And now lifting that right arm all the way up, you're hanging on to that right thigh. And as you exhale, taking a lean over to the left. Drop that left shoulder down. Don't hike it up to the ears. Like just keep a lot of space, like a long neck. And now we're going to crisscross right at the arms and just crisscrossing the hands down onto the thighs just for a moment. And then using that crisscross, just giving yourself a nice hug, stretching out the back. If you can get a hold of part of the back, you can kind of just pull it with your fingertips to stretch out the back, that area behind the heart. And you can stay here in this hug, or you can come into what we call Garudasana arms or eagle arms, where there's elbow to elbow, and you place either backs of the palms together, or if you're very flexible in the arms and shoulders, the front of the palms together. But staying here is perfectly fine, and you'll get all of the stretch in the back that you need. So wherever you are, inhale and lifting those elbows all the way up, putting a little bit of an arch in your back. And as you exhale, bring the elbows into the belly and round the back, creating space between the vertebrae. Do that again. Inhale and lifting the elbows up or lifting the hug up wherever you are. And exhale, rounding, and you lengthen the spine. It's so healthy for the spine. One more time. Inhaling, coming all the way up, lifting as much as comfortable. And exhale, a little bit past comfort. And then slowly unraveling, placing the arms down. And of course, we'll do the other side. So palms are up and inhaling the arms all the way up and pausing again at that tippy top. And exhale, taking a twist over to the left. And just hold for a moment, using that right hand as leverage to twist around the axis of the spine, activating the digestive system. And breathing, really squeezing the digestive organs as we twist around the axis of the spine. And raising that left arm up and taking a lean over to the right. Drop that right shoulder down. And again, each time you exhale, you may fall just a little bit more. And then slowly, we're going to crisscross the other way. So now the opposite arm is on top and come into that hug. And once again, stretching out the back, stretching out the muscles that support the spine. Again, keeping the shoulders away from the ears in the hug. And you can either stay in the hug or you can come into that eagle pose, Garudasana arms. And they call it eagle pose because it helps you to focus. The eagle focuses and then is able to soar. And as we inhale, you either lift your hug or lift the Garudasana arms. And as you exhale, rounding your back, elbow into the belly and dropping the chin. And here, when you come up, you come more to the front of the sit bones as you lift the elbows up, arch the back, and exhale, round, and you come more to the back of the sit bones. Last one. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Take a pause at the top, and exhale. Dropping the chin. Releasing the arms and coming down. And just to kind of loosen up a little bit, come a little bit more to the front of your chair and just to loosen up a little bit, just kind of circle around. There's no right or wrong here, just letting the body just kind of flow, let the head fall, let the shoulders do whatever they want to do. Just circling in one direction and then circling in the other direction. Breathing, not holding the breath, but just letting the breath and the flow kind of meld with each other. And coming back to neutral, we'll do our cat-cows, and you can always continue on with any movement we're doing if that feels good. Just doing your own thing. I'm only here to guide you, but do what feels good. So in cat-cow, I'll just show the first one just in case there's anyone new. We place our hands onto the knees once again. Check to make sure that the ankles are directly underneath the knees and the feet are flat on the floor with the heel behind the widest part. And in cat-cow, we really exaggerate the arches. We pull on our knees and arch the back, lift the chin, the sternum lifts. We inhale here. And as we exhale, the belly goes to the back of the spine, dropping the chin, coming to the back of the sit bones. And again, inhaling into the arch. And exhale, round, belly to the back. Let the shoulders can come a little bit forward. Belly goes to the back of the spine. Inhale, you feel the spine coming towards the front body as you arch the back, lift the chin, lift the sternum. And exhale, you reverse that action and round. This is a breath practice also. We'll do 2 more. Do this on your breath, not necessarily mine. The inhale is always in the up cat position. This is up cat. And the exhale is always in the down cat position. On your own breath. Let the breath inform, or let the breath start the movement. Last one. Come back to center. Reaffirming your seat. Again, we'll do our sun salutations from the front of the seat. If you're here for the first time, I'm just going to move this. You can see my feet. If you're here for the first time, you will follow along. After 1 or 2, we usually do 3 sun salutations. This is yoga. Sun salutations, just use the whole body. Sun salutes, we welcome the sun, we welcome the energy. And bringing our hands down to the side, turning the palms up. Inhale, coming all the way up. Lifting your gaze, pressing the palms together. And as you exhale, turn the palms out, hinge from the hips as you swan dive and come all the way down and let the head go. As you inhale, the hands are on your shins and you lengthen. Exhale, you refold, hinging at the hips. Let the head go. Press down through the feet, turn the palms out. Use your core to assist you as you come all the way up. Seal the hands together and just draw them down the midline of the body at the heart center, closing the eyes for an inhale and an exhale. And again. Inhaling the arms down around, a full inhale brings you all the way up. Press the palms together. And as you exhale again, hinge from the hips as you swan dive down, coming all the way down and letting the head go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Reverse swan dive, bringing the arms out, coming all the way up. Press the palms together and draw them down the midline of the body, closing the eyes. Inhale here and exhale, noticing how you feel. Last one. Inhaling the arms down around and all the way up. Take a pause between breaths as you exhale and coming all the way down and let it go. Inhale to halfway lift as you lengthen the spine and just gaze up. Your spine is long. and exhale and fold. Press down through the feet, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. Take a pause at the very tippy top and draw the hands down the midline of the body, closing the eyes. Full breath in and full breath out. Place your hands down just for a moment. Just noticing again your structure, that your ears and your shoulders and your hips and your knees and your ankles are all in line. And then lifting the right knee up, the right leg up. You probably have to come to the front of your, and you may be all the way down here. Wherever you are, you know that's the right place to be. And now we'll just circle the ankles around, just like we did with the wrists, circling the ankles around in one direction. And then circling the ankles around in the other direction. And then flex the foot and point. And flex and point. And flex and point. And then bringing the hands right underneath your thigh, just holding it here. And you can just let the foot could be either flexed or pointed, it doesn't matter. Just holding here. Now use your core. So your belly is in and up. That supports your whole structure. Your shoulders are nice and solid and straight. Collarbone is nice and wide. And you can stay here and you can bring it even further if you can. Leave it right there. And again, if you're feeling really strong this morning, then you can also raise the arms, keep the leg where it is, raising the arms up. But let the shoulder blades just slide down the back. Breathing easily. If you can't breathe and you're doing too much, you're not practicing ahimsa. Okay, if you have to be able to breathe easily. And then slowly clasping the hands and placing that foot down. Raising the left up, and you can hang on to your shins here, and circling the ankle around in one direction, the other side, and circling around in the other direction. And then point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. And then perhaps holding the knee a little bit closer, or where you are. The closer you hold it, the more you feel your belly activating. So activate that core and kind of wiggle around so that your shoulders can still stay away from the ears. You can stay right here, or again, if you did it on the other side and feel comfortable with it, raising the arms all the way up. And just noticing if your breath can stay just as easeful as it was when you were just holding. And then slowly reclasping the knee, maybe giving just an extra little tug and placing that foot down. Raising the right up again. And this time you're going to take your right hand on the knee, left hand on the thigh, and just move the hips side to side. So another joint that we are moving, that we are activating the synovial fluid right in that hip joint. And then circling it around in one direction. In any range of movement is good. Anything that you can do. And moving it around in the other direction. Then we're going to place ankle on knee, but you may not be able to place the ankle on me. Now, I have a rod and 2 screws here. So this is my range. Some of you may have a range all the way here, or some of you may actually be able to get that knee down wherever you are. So placing your left hand on the ankle and your right hand on the knee, getting the spine nice and straight wherever your cross of the leg is. And after you take a big inhale, once again, see if you can hinge from the hips and keeping the spine. Stop when you feel the spine rounding. So you want to be able to keep the spine nice and long. Make sure I have my time right for meditation. Just hold in here. And then slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. Being careful how you come out of this pose. You want to keep one hand on the knee, one hand on the arch, and just remove it so that the ankle and the knee stays in line with each other to protect the knee. Same thing on the other side, lifting the left knee, placing the hand right on the top of the knee as you just move that hip from side to side. So we're kind of activating all parts of the body this morning from head to toe. Just getting everything moving, getting the trillions of cells, waking them all up. Then we'll begin to circle the hip in one direction. And circling it in the other direction. And then once again, on the other side, you can either do ankle to knee, or you may be here, or even here. And so if you are up here, keep the foot flexed so that you protect your knee when you keep the foot flexed. And then lift up wherever you are, lift up so that almost as if you're going to zip yourself straight up, right through to the crown of the head. And then slowly hinging at the hips, beginning to move forward. And stop wherever you feel that you would feel like you have to round, then just stop there. You may just have moved a millimeter coming forward. Making sure that you can breathe. That's the most important. Just breathing easy. Breathing easy. And slowly coming up. We're going to bring the legs out nice and wide, and the feet are in goddess position. So we're in goddess position here. And just use your hands to encourage the thighs to move out to the side as much as they can. Just last stretch, stretching out that inner thighs, holding here. And again, breathing. See if you can find a line of energy from the crown all the way to the base. Full breath in. Full breath out. And we'll slowly, you can place your hands underneath the thighs to help you walk the feet in. Not all the way, keep the feet separated. We'll come into our final inversion before meditation. So inhaling here, lift up again. So you actually, as you press down into the chair with the sit bones, you lift up with the body and then hinge and come all the way. And as you come down, let the head go, the head below the heart, unless you have some kind of problems with your eyes or anything like that. That would be counter, and that would not be recommended if you have any eye problems. But just having, if your pressure is out of control, you would not want to do this either. So just letting the head go, letting the head be heavy. It's always an inversion when the head is below the heart. And in an inversion, what we're doing is we are changing the flow of gravity. You want to change that flow of gravity. It moves in the opposite direction. And then slowly, in your own time, just beginning to roll up one vertebra at a time. Letting your chin and your head come up last. And so moving into our meditative portion, we know that yogis for centuries have maintained that there is no other act that's as healing or as restorative or as rejuvenating as a meditation practice. It's truly the essence of ahimsa. But it's not so easy as we know when you first attempt it. It's like popping a pill to relax is much easier choice that many people take, because when you turn inward, you view the restlessness in your system, and that's not always a fun thing to do. So the practice that we're going to do today, though, is a kind of go-to practice that gets you into a meditation. It's a practice that is from the Ishta lineage. And it begins with what we've already done. In order to come into meditation, you always do a breath practice. You do some kind of a movement practice, which can quiet the mind and can iron out the kinks in the body. So the asana practice that we've just done, that helps you to hold your posture correctly and comfortably for a longer period of time in meditation. Because without that movement, you might find sitting still like really uncomfortable. You may have tightness in your hips or in your shoulders or in your neck or in your back. So that's why we do the asana before we meditate. And then we go into a special technique to be able to direct the mind into that meditative state. So that's what I'll be leading you through. So the first thing is to balance the right and left sides, right and left nostrils, the airflow of the right and left nostrils, which will also be balancing the left and right sides of the brain. And we then balance the whole nervous system. So we're going to use 3 different techniques today. We're going to begin with swaying, which we have done before, which if you've been with me before, you're probably familiar with. And then we're going to move on to alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. And if the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama doesn't work for you for any reason, if you begin to feel agitated, then you need to honor the ahimsa, so the non-harm. And so then you just go back to the swaying rather than the Nadi Shodhana. And then we're then going to do something called Manduki Kriya. And when we're done with that, we'll wet the finger, put a drop of saliva on the third eye, and meditate for a few minutes. Okay? So also, during meditation, I'm going to give you using one of the 5 following mantras. And you just, during the meditation, while you're in the third eye, you repeat that word over and over again. So if you're feeling restless, you'll use Mung, M-A-N-G. If you're feeling anxious, you use Sham, S-H-A-M. If you're feeling sleepy or dull, you use Aim, A-I-M. If you're feeling like unstable, kind of unbalanced, you'll use Ram, R-A-M. Or if you've been kind of stuck in a pattern, that you can't get out of this thought over and over and over again, then you use Krim, K-R-I-M, okay? And I'll just show you the alternate nostril breathing, and then we'll begin. So in alternate nostril breathing, we'll be putting our second and third finger on the forehead. The thumb will go onto the bone just right below that bony part. And the 4th finger will go right on the left nostril. I'm not mirroring you here, right underneath that bony part, okay? And first, what we'll be doing is we'll be alternating the breath. Once you have this movement, I'll be saying, press into the left side, release the right as you breathe in through the right. Then you hold and you block both, and you exhale out through the left. You'll inhale through the left, hold, block both, and exhale through the right. So I'll be leading you through that. And again, if that seems a little daunting, then you just do your swaying, okay? Or do any variation that seems okay for you, if you have any problem with the hands or anything like that. And then the Manduki Kriya is so nice. You just feel as if there's a just puff of air moving up the nose to the third eye point. When it gets to the third eye point, you exhale and just allow the breath to come out both nostrils. And then in both nostrils to this point, like at the top of a triangle, and exhaling out. Okay? So before we start, are there any questions? All right. So let's find our comfortable seat. Again, we used all of that practice just so we could sit in meditation for a few minutes. So let's find that seat that allows us to really feel nice and stable and strong. And just gently close the eyes. Wag the jaw from side to side just to relax the jaw. You want to separate the back teeth. Allow the inside of the cheeks to feel soft. Allow the tongue to feel floaty. Soften the eyes. And then just turn the palms of the hands up, the thumb and index finger just to touch in like a little circle. And then inhale here. And as you exhale, just sway to the right. Inhale back to center. And sway to the left. Inhale back to center. And sway to the right. Inhale back to center. And sway to the left. Inhale back to center. And as you sway to the right, imagine a golden sun. And as you come back to center and sway to the left, imagine that golden sun turning darker into night. Back to the center. Imagining that golden sun coming up again. As you move to center and move to the left, just watching that golden sun getting darker and darker. Coming back to center. Just a few more, just swaying to the right. Golden sun. Swaying to the left. Nighttime comes. On your own. And just having the sway begin to get a little bit softer. You're not going to the right as much. You're not going to the left as much. It's kind of like a metronome that just begins to slow down. That's appropriate time when you're slowing down. You come back to center. If it's okay for you, placing your second and third finger right onto the forehead, your thumb right below the bony part of the nose on the right. I'm not mirroring you, so use your right hand. And the fourth finger is on the left. So fourth finger in the thumb. And just Hold it softly for a moment, just letting the flow of air pass through both nostrils. And then just press the thumb into the nostril as you inhale through the left. Release the left finger, fourth finger. Hold and block both, so squeeze the nostrils. Release the thumb and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Hold, block both. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Hold, block both. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Hold, block both. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Hold, block both. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Hold, block both. Exhale through the left. Doing 2 more rounds on your own. The next time that you breathe out through the right, release the backs of the palm onto your lap, thumb and index finger to touch. Then just imagine the air just entering both nostrils very gently and just coming to that third eye point on the inhale. And on the exhale from that third eye point, just let the air release, just barely going out through the nostrils, just easy, gentle, soft. Again, inhale through both nostrils up to that third eye point. Exhale from the third eye point right to the end of the nostril. Just doing that a few more times. No effort. Just let it happen. And then just place a drop of saliva onto your finger, placing it onto the third eye, and then placing the hand down and feeling that cool, wet spot, and allow it to move in to the third eye. And we'll sit in meditation in quiet for 3 minutes. Remembering, if you're restless, use Hmong. If you're anxious, use Sham. If you're sleepy, use Ayim. Unstable, use Ram. To break out of a pattern, use Krim. Making sure that the jaw is relaxed, the teeth are separated, the tongue floats. The roof of the mouth is soft. The eyes are soft. Very slowly, bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth and sliding the tongue along to the gum right and back of the front teeth, bringing the palms together and just rubbing the fingertips ever so lightly. And separating the hands an inch and feeling the heat between the hands. Separating a little bit more and feeling the radiance behind the heat. And then as you separate more, you feel that puffy feeling that feels like you can shape the air. And then placing the palms over the eyes, lifting the chin so that all of that heat and radiance and magnetism can flow into and behind the eyes, into the trillions of cells in the brain, just rejuvenating the brain, healing. And then slowly bringing the palms together right at the forehead. Om Namah Shivaya. And then slowly drag the hands down the face, around the back of the neck, around to the throat, down to the thymus, our healing center. Om Ram 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 Ramaya Namaha, our healing mantra. And then stopping at the heart and wishing Gwendolyn the most happy 75th birthday today. And continuing down to the solar plexus, down to the belly, just drawing the energy down and placing the hands onto the thighs and just rubbing the thighs back and forth, circling the knees, and just stamping the feet to get that energy down. Drawing the palms together at the heart center, bowing the head all the way down to seal in this sacred practice. And then slowly raising the head And bowing the head to the heart, to the only true teacher, to the teacher that lies within each and every one of us. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Namaste.